So, you grew up in Arkansas. Can you just tell me a little bit about that? So, how old are you, first of all?
I'm 19 years old at the moment. And like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I did grow up in Little Rock, Arkansas, Southwest to be specific. And like, Southwest Little Rock is kind of like the hood, you know what I'm saying? It's the ghetto. You have like a lot of drug dealing, prostitution, gang banging. And my mom, she did a really good job of trying to keep me away from that, you know, by like not letting me leave the house. But you know what I'm saying? It all evolved to me spending so much time in this room to where, you know, I had to think about what I wanted to do. And, you know, it's kind of how it led to what I'm doing now.
Can we talk a little bit more about that? So, you, um, you started. You said you started creating music when you were.
I was 17. It was 2 years ago. In 2015, it started in March 2015 to be specific. At the school I went to, McClellan High School. It was my 11th grade communications class, and I just started writing raps, and it turned into like papers and papers, and it just got like really thick. And I knew of someone down the street that like had like a little home studio in the crib. His name was Joe. You know what I'm saying? We had like a little relationship going. I would go to his crib and we would just bounce ideas back and forth, but never took it serious until, you know what I'm saying, he saw all the papers that I had and he was like, you know, we should record this. And so we did, and we recorded it, and we recorded my first project titled Make Every Second Count.
Make Every Second Count.
Which came out, I think January 6, 2016. And then, you know, we kept working. The second one came out, A Windows Soul, I want to say May 5th, 2016. And then the third, it was titled Moderately Prolific, which came out, I want to say October 15, 2016, about a year ago. But those three projects, it took those to like me to kind of like find myself and who I am as an artist. But like I came to like a plateau. Like the music wasn't really quality and what it needed to be, so I had to figure something out. And so, you know what I'm saying, I had a homie that lived here in Colorado with a studio, and I came over here, and here we are now.
So can you elaborate a little bit more on that? So you had a friend from Arkansas who.
Well, he lived like here. He lived in Texas because his mom and my grandmother were really cool. So he moved over here, and like he was kind of like my connect to come over here. And he, you know, let me know about the studio. So I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah. And which studio is it?
It's titled Mad Dog Ranch Studios, and it's like kind of like the border between Aspen and Snowmass.
Okay. And how did you reach out to them? I mean, did you have like a demo, or did you have like a mixtape or anything like that that you sent them?
What it was the studio. Yeah. What it was, I got in contact with Ralph myself, and I told him about who.
And Ralph is the engineer.
My engineer.
Of the studio.
Yeah, I got in touch with him, and I told him what I did. I don't think I played in any of my previous work. I just like wanted to do something like fresh. So I told him, you know, he agreed to working, and what I did was I had this song titled Balance, which was the first single off my upcoming album titled Lonely Below. And so, you know what I'm saying, I worked on that, I sent it to him, and he mixed it, and we had a great thing going, and it's out now.
Yeah. So, okay, so we'll come back to how you got here. When you were growing up, were you a huge hip hop fan?
Definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember the first hip hop song I ever heard was like some song by Trick Daddy, and I was like on a motorcycle, and I was like 10 years old. Like it was crazy.
What song is it? Do you know?
I'm trying to remember. It's not really clicking right now.
No worries. If you remember, let me know.
Definitely.
And we'll get back to it.
It was something like, let's go, if you want it, you could take it. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to remember from like 9 years ago.
Any other ones?
At that moment, that was the first song, and then when I was like 12, like coming into middle school, I would listen to like a lot of stuff that was on the radio. Like back then in 2010, it was like, you know, like the New Boys, Drake was doing his thing then, Big Sean, like Kanye, like a lot of artists that was popping off in 2010. And then towards 2011, I kind of like turned to like a Hispanic cultural type of hip hop. I used to listen to a lot of Mr. Criminal throughout like 2012, 2013, and then 2014 came, and I was like really influenced by like Soulja Boy, Lil B and them. And then 2015, 2016 came, and that's when I really started digging into hip hop. I was a really big fan of Tyga, Wiz Khalifa, Logic, G-Eazy, Kendrick Lamar, Big Sean, Kanye West, you know what I'm saying, Jay-Z, like all these dope, amazing hip hop artists, and like I listen to them for a lot of inspiration because I support what they have going on.
Yeah. So what made you? So you're in communications class in high school, right? And
Yeah.
you're starting to write these things. What, like, what do you think is sort of compelling you to do this? Like, why are you drawn to writing?
I have a typical destination where I'm going, and it's just to be like, you know, a mega superstar. I want to like tour the world and, you know what I'm saying, just live the life of a superstar. But I want to like tell my story and paint my picture, you know, in a lyrical type of way because I have this deep, passionate love for music.
Yeah. What besides hip hop, do you listen to any other genres?
I like a lot of pop, a lot of R&B, some rock and roll is cool. I'm not a big fan of country, but I'm always down to listen to someone's art.
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah. Again, like just sort of tracing your path here, like, so, correct me if I'm wrong. You say your grandmother and this friend of yours. You basically have a connection here.
Yeah, it was my grandmother and his mother. They were really friends, like back in the day, way before we were born. And you know what I'm saying, like, you know, these are two grandmothers that both had sons, and we met when I was like 12 or 13, and that was it at the time. And then we connected. He hit me up like, I want to say like 6 months after I started doing music, and he told me he noticed what I had going on. His tour as well, shout out to him. And ever since then, we just been clicking and linking up, and now that I'm here, you know, we're linked.
Yeah. So when did you come here? Like, when did you arrive here?
I flew here June 24th of this year.
So
It was a long day. Yeah, about 4 months. About to be 4 months.
Yeah. And did you just hit the ground? You knew you were gonna have space at the studio. You knew you were here to record an album. Is that how it
Yeah, I
worked?
planned. I thought about it for about. He came with me with the idea around April, and I sat on it for about 2 or 3 months, and you know it sounded logical because my whole life I've been living in my grandma's house. You know, she took care of me and all that, and it's, you know, time to be a man and come out here and, you know, face the real world. So I did it. Here I am.
Yeah. So you get here. Do you already have a concept of like what the music is you're trying to record? Like, do you already, like, are you collaborating with other people, or is it just you and then you just go up to the studio, you get in the studio and you just like work there? Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Right now it's just me. I mean, I'm definitely looking to work forward and collaborate with a bunch of artists, but right now I'm trying to figure out who I am, and once I find that, I think I will. And yes, the album it has a concept. It's more like really honest, like emotional. Like I'm trying to tell like a really deep story to let these people know who I am, because this is my first studio album, so it's kind of like my introduction to the whole 7 billion people worldwide. And I just want them to, like, you know, see and feel me for who I am instead of it being like a cliche situation.
Yeah. What's the song that you're most excited for, do you think?
I don't think I've written it yet, but it's coming because I'm sitting on the beats and I'm listening to the beats, and you know, just by listening to them, I kind of have a feel for what I want to do.
So, and then does the music sustain you, or do you also have a job here? Like, how do you afford to live here?
At this point in time, at 19 years old, you know what I'm saying, I'm not fortunate enough to have the music paying the bills yet, so I am working at a night shift at City Market, where I go in at 10 at night and get off somewhere between 7 in the morning to 9, and I get home to about 8 hours of sleep, maybe 8-9 hours of sleep. I spend like 4, 5, 6 of that on music, and I sacrifice a lot of things for this music. But it's okay though, because I know all this is temporary, and I know like really soon the music's gonna be paying the bills, so I'm not worried about it.
When you say, so what do you do at City Market, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, I get there and I go like to the shelves and I like face them and like bring all the products to the front and wait for a load to come and someone to drop it off, and I go up and like cut the boxes and open them and stock all the products. Basically, it's like night crew stocking. I'm not really a big fan of it, but it's something I have to go through right now.
Yeah, that's kind of a bizarre existence to, like, you know, be awake all night long and be asleep all day, and you know, you're stocking shelves and then you're writing music. I mean, like, is that lonely?
It's definitely lonely. The title of my album is Lonely But Loyal, you know what I'm saying? What I'm doing right now is like, it's like the perfect situation if you want to title it the come up, because you know what I'm saying, like I'm working And like all this money that I'm getting from this job, which isn't much, it's about $2,000 a month. I pay about $450 for rent. I spend about $500 on food a month, and like I sacrifice a lot of things, and like all this money is going into the album. Like I don't have like time for women or time for like, you know, anything besides this album, because I know this album is gonna launch me to the next level, which will lead to me not having to work at the market or any type of job, so I could just spend, you know, full time working in the studio, and it's cool, you know what I'm saying? I'm perfectly fine, you know. I've looked at other people, like Logic, for instance. He used to do the same thing. He was a little bit older than me, but he used to work, like, he had it worse than me. He would have like 2 or 3 jobs and work like 18 hours, like Jiffy Lube, you know what I'm saying? I watched his interview, so knowing that he went through what he went through to get to where he's at, and he made it there, I know I'm gonna be there too. So that's why I'm confident about the situation.
Yeah. When you say that you're dedicated to the album, do you have to pay money to rent the studio space? Like, are you investing in this?
What
financially?
It is, yeah, definitely every dollar. What it is, I buy beats from different producers. I haven't found myself a producer to where I could just come to the house and make a beat yet. But until then, I just get beats offline, and I'll get those, and I'll use the software, my little home studio that I have set up. From there, when I feel like the track is perfect enough, I'll take it to the studio, and my engineer Ralph will mix it. You know, we do our thing. It's typically maybe 3 to 5 to 1,000 a track.
3 to 5. Wait.
300 to 500 to 1,000 is per track.
Like different takes.
Like each per song.
Okay. So like each song, you might try it. You're saying 1,000 different times.
No, I'm saying like he'll charge me like around $1,000. Like the last song we just did, titled "Aware," that turned out to be $1,000 as for paying for the beat and mixing it. Cause like, and I recorded there at the studio too. That was my first time recording there instead of my room, and it was like much better quality.
Can you say that one more time?
It was like much better quality.
So, and I'll like ask Ralph these questions too. But was he? I mean, so you pay him to mix your work.
Yeah, basically.
And then so, can you tell me more about the buying beats offline? That's fascinating. I had no idea that's how that works.
Definitely. It's like in this generation, like everything's digital. So like beat producers that aren't really like, you know, onto a situation to where they're like full-time producing for an artist and only them, they take it up on themselves to create a customer fan base, so where they make beats of their work and they sell them in different ways. Like, oh, you could get it like this way, but you can only sell this much. And I always get the unlimited to where, you know what I'm saying, I can sell as much as I want. Some producers will make you like give them props or whatever, like credit the beat producer.
So do you like go online? There's like a little shopping cart that you fill up?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Really?
You go to YouTube and I found out about one, and then you could, like basically you could search any type of artist you want. Like you would say like a Drake type beat, and then you'll see a list of them, and you just listen to whatever one you like. And then you go to their about section on their YouTube, and then it'll say beat store, and you go there, then you can hear all their beats and see how much they charge for their licenses and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Water break.
So how much? So one track was $1,000 you just spent. So how many tracks will your album have?
Right now I'm debating somewhere between 10 and 13. I'm pretty much done with it. I just gotta buy. I'm actually gonna buy. Today's a great day. I'm actually off tonight and tomorrow night, so I'm gonna buy 3 more beats tonight, and that should be like around 500. And then I'm gonna write the next 3 songs of the album, and then I'll be at 9 songs, and then I'll have 1 more if I want to do 10. And if I do that, then I'll put that out. Or if not, I'll take it a little bit longer, and I might leave into March. But I'm working. It's definitely gonna be a 2018 release.
Do you have any idea like how much money you'll end up spending on making the album itself?
Yeah, I've sold about, you know what I'm saying, like, well, like when you look at the statistics on like who I like distribute my music from, it's like almost around 100,000. So it does pretty good, but like it doesn't pay as much. Like it's like 1/100th of a penny. It's like it's not much at all. But you know what I'm saying, when there's millions and millions of plays, that's gonna add up. But I'm not in this for the money right now, so it's totally fine.
Yeah, but when the album comes out, and I want to get to like your fan base next, but
Take your time.
when your album is done, do you have like a ballpark figure? Do you have any sense for how much money you'll have spent on it?
Yeah, so far I've probably spent maybe 5,000. I'm thinking I'll probably spend about 15,000 total on this album, and that's nowhere near how much I'll probably spend on future albums when I'm, signed to major labels and all that. But the goal is to finish it, and once it's done, just I do everything myself. It's a DIY situation, so I'll probably promote it to my fans. I might put a billboard up in my city back home in Little Rock. It's just everything just online, and I know the fans are gonna spread it how I want them to.
Yeah. So you have music on Pandora,
It's
Spotify. Tell me where.
like all you have to do is literally search me on Google, and then from there it's everywhere. I've made my music readily accessible to each and every app, from iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, Pandora, all the illegal download sites, YouTube, everywhere. So it's undeniable.
What how does that happen? How do you do that? How do you get your music onto iTunes or get it onto Spotify? How does that work?
I actually can't say it's a secret. No, I'm just kidding. There's this company titled CD Baby, and I just pay them a certain amount per song or per album, and they'll distribute it for me, and they take 10% of what I make, but it's not a whole bunch right now, so I'm not worried about it. And they distribute it for me, and they collect all my royalties, and I get my checks. I just got a $12 check yesterday. Hey, but it's a start though.
So you're also paying that. It sounds like you're paying a lot of people.
Definitely, you gotta invest a lot of money into this to get somewhere. I probably invested around maybe 10-15 grand so far into this. You have to spend money to make money. I've spent 15 grand, and I probably made 1,000 back, but it's fine because in the future, it's gonna be grand. Y'all are gonna see.
Have you ever performed?
I've only done 2 shows so far. I've done one at the Rev Room in Little Rock, Arkansas, which was horrible because it was my first show, and I was performing in front of 20 people. Nobody was paying attention. My chain broke off in front of me.
What do you mean your chain broke off?
I had a necklace at the time, and it broke and fell on stage. It was really embarrassing. And it was on a high school night. I just got off. That was the first job I worked too back then. And my second show was at Club Lush. I had a DJ. He wanted me to come out there, so I went out there and I performed.
Where's Club Lush?
Club Lush is in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I went out there. It's pretty cool because actually, I can't say I headlined the show because the crowd didn't know who I was mostly, but I since I was the only artist there with a type of fan base, they allowed me to do a 15-minute set instead of just a 5.
Yeah.
And that's all I've done so far, but I can't wait to tour the world, you know what I'm saying, and headline and do arenas and all that, which will come, but right now it's just in the process of writing.
How do you if you wanted to perform, do you will this album enable you to perform more? How does that work logistically? How do you enable yourself to perform more?
Just like Jeezy said, it must be nice. Right now I'm doing everything solo, 100% independent. I don't have any booking labels or any agents or anybody helping me. So my goal right now is to build my online hype buzz, and I've been doing it for about 2 years now. It's going pretty good. My YouTube is about to break 200,000. My Facebook is about to break 600,000. So it's almost 1 million views collectively.
600,000 views?
Yeah. It's almost about to break 1 million together, but pretty soon it's gonna be a bit in the billions. So I'm not worried about it, but the goal is to just build the buzz. Right now I'm working to where I could do some type of tour around a few cities in the U.S. maybe. I'd be happy if I could get 100 or 200 people just to start, just to get my foot in the door. But based on people I've watched, Logic and Jeezy and them, they were around 20, 22 or 23 before that was even possible for them. And I'm only 19, so I got a ways to work for.
Yeah. So when you were creating this sort of online presence, can you talk to me a little bit more about that? Right now you're filming us.
Definitely. On YouTube.
Yeah. Is this just something that people recommended that you do? How did you learn do you have any models for doing this? Are there rappers that you're oh man, they started out just making YouTube videos and now it's huge?
Yeah, definitely. I study a lot of people. The first person I got into studying was Tyga, then it led to Wiz. But as for like a extremely like organic type of growth strictly from the bottom, it's been I want to say Logic, Kendrick Lamar, Big Sean, and G-Eazy, and 4 and they did it like all the right way. Like they grew it from the bottom to the top.
Like using the internet?
Yeah, using the internet. That's for marketing and like all that. That's for sure.
Huh. So, do you ever get like analytics or anything like that from your websites? Like, do you know who's downloading? Do you know where? And can you tell me about that?
The U.S. is on lock. There's like thousands of people in every city in the country right now, and it's kind of just now like breaking through the surface into other countries. It's starting to spread in New Zealand, the UK. I'm seeing stuff down in South America.
Do you have like?
I can show you.
Can we check that out? That's super interesting. How much of your free time, the time you're not working, are you spending on the internet?
I spend countless amounts of hours online interacting with fans or studying other artists or getting inspiration. Like damn near every day, all day, every day, basically. That's all it is.
Yeah. Do you ever go on YouTube and do you ever like read comments or anything like that? Do you like is that something that you like concern yourself with?
Yeah, definitely. At this moment, I like to interact and read at this moment, I can reply to each and every single fan and read each and every comment, and I do so.
Yeah. So I mean, like, probably as with any song, there are good comments, there are bad comments. I mean, how do you do you respond to each and every single one?
I used to respond to each and every one, but it's starting to add up to a point to where I can't. But I try to take the time. I do read every comment. I don't let it get to my head or nothing, or I'll be like, But I am force-fed props. I would say that.
You are force-fed props? What is it? What do you mean?
Like, I wake up every day to like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stuff. Like, oh my God, it's amazing, it's cool, and it's like I can't let that get to me. I gotta stay focused.
Yeah, but then what happens when you come across one that doesn't like it?
It doesn't really matter to me because they're still watching. You know what I'm saying? As long as I have their attention, I know I'm doing the right thing. It's the people that are not saying nothing that I gotta worry about.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking.
I take everything as a compliment because if you put any type of how do I put this? Any type of time into to give your reply to something, it's love. If it's positive or negative, it's still love because you took your time to be involved with it.
What if someone says like something really nasty?
It's still the same way. I take it all as love, and I've had a lot of weird approaches, so I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah.
There was something instilled in me that helped me.
Do you remember like the worst comment that was ever made on any of your songs?
I mean, most of the time, like people just, like a lot of haters would be like, "Oh, it's trash." I'm like, "Yo, like I know it's not trash because I have an amazing talent with the writing and the music is actually quality. Like my old music is trash. I'm not gonna lie, but now that it's studio quality, it's not. So you can't tell me nothing." And then when I see comments like that on my new stuff, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, y'all are retarded.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of taking a sip of water.
Cool, man. Water break? No.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So once you're done with this album, will you stay here? Like, what are you gonna do?
The initial plan is to stay here as long as possible until my life does involve a lot of traveling. But in this very moment, my life changes so much from last year to next year to now. So I know at this moment I'm working in this specific studio with this engineer on this specific album. I wanted to change. Yeah, I want to go to LA or New York, and I'm gonna go, but I just can't wait. And but I want to say I feel like I've developed a relationship with Ralph, my engineer, so I want to bring him along with me, and we might probably go to other studios. But definitely a lot of traveling.
Yeah. Can we talk about so I mean, did Ralph, and you might have already answered this question, but did Ralph already ask you, or sorry, when you were kind of like figuring out if you were gonna come here, did Ralph hear your music before you showed up here? Like, did he sort of say, yeah, I'll work with this guy, and then you decided to come here? Or did you just come here and then get your foot in the door?
What it was he was down to work from the beginning because it's business, you know what I'm saying? There's money to be made on either side. But we did a track together, the first one, Balance, and I was so impressed by the quality that I had to come. That's what I chose to come because I was impressed by the quality.
So you weren't living here at that point?
No, this was we talked around early May of 2017. Did our track Balance. I dropped Balance May 27th this year, and the fans liked it. It took me to the next level, and I knew I had to come here.
Yeah. Like, have you ever worked in a studio? Is this your first studio that you worked in?
Very first time. If you go to my YouTube, I also have a vlog series. I think I want to say episode 3 or episode 4, somewhere between there. Like, there's footage of me walking in there for the first time. Like, I had dreams of doing this. Like, it's crazy.
What was it like to sort of step in there? I mean, what's sitting in a studio like?
It's amazing. I mean, you go from, like being locked in a bedroom at your grandma's house, making music, watching videos of other artists like, Wiz Khalifa, Jeezy, Logic, in the $1 Million studio, like, damn, that's amazing. I wish I could do that. But, you have those doubtful thoughts. And then when it actually comes to play, it's like, okay, like, it's a video game. It's like it's my turn to, play this. Like, it's like your role now. But it's great. I've grown accustomed. At first, I was kind of like childish and starstruck about it. But, after I've done it about 5, 6, 7 times, I got used to it now.
Yeah. And Ralph was telling me that you only work like late at night.
Yeah.
Is that because of your job, current job?
Because of my current job right now, I have to maintain a schedule that keeps me up in the night and I go to bed in the morning. And instead of just swapping my days up, I like to maintain the same schedule every day of every week. That way it doesn't get co-opted.
Yeah. Are you, like tonight, are you going in the studio tonight?
Tonight, what I want to do after this is over, I want to spend I'll do this. I like to spend about 5 to 7 hours a day just simply interacting with my fans, just talking to them until they're in bed, which is around midnight. And then when that's done, I'll probably take a shower, get fresh and have some good food. And I'm going to buy the beats tonight, and I'm gonna write one song tonight, and that's how it's going to go. It's working.
Is it just like kind of being a superstar? Like, what's so attractive to you about that? Like, why like, it seems like you want to be famous really badly.
Definitely.
Why do you want to be famous?
I just look at all the things that my idols are doing. You know what I'm saying? I want to do it too, and I'm gonna do it. It's because it's like in life you choose what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's crazy to think that you could like be lonely in the studio writing, pouring your heart out on songs, and in return, you're selling platinum records. The whole world knows who you are. You're touring. You get to see the whole world. I love traveling. Of course, all the beautiful women. I can't say I care. I mean, it's going to be nice to be rich as well and to not have to worry about things. But, of course, there's going to be different problems. But it beats being broke. I'll say that. I ain't going to say anything about the drugs. I don't really care about the drugs. I'm not a big fan of any of that, so I'm not worried about that. But just,
why aren't you a fan of drugs?
I had, like my taste of it at a young age. I was, like, 17. I moved to L.A. My bad. 16. I was 16. I moved to L.A., and I was on the streets of LA, and I just got involved with cocaine, marijuana, all these different drugs.
Whoa, hold on, sorry. Why'd you move to
LA? When I was 16, I was having some problems at home, and I wanted to get out the house for a while, so my mom didn't really want me to go, so I went anyway. I had a friend out there, and I went out there and just got all crazy, did all this stupid stuff, and then I realized that wasn't what I needed to do. I needed to go back home to school. But that was in the summer, so I went in the summer. And then I buckled down and went back home and started 11th grade and finished high school.
When you said, so you went out to LA and you said you were on the street, were you homeless there?
No, but for a little short period of time, I slept under the Santa Monica Pier, which is crazy because I used to catch the bus back and forth from my friend's house to the beach, and my phone died, I didn't have no service, and I didn't have any money for the bus that day, and I had to wait the next day for him to come back and get me, but it's crazy.
So. You just sort of glossed over something that seems like a pretty big deal. I mean, so
yeah.
So then so how long were you in LA for?
I was there for about a month, about 4 or 5 weeks. I flew from Little Rock to Denver, and then had a 4-hour layover, and then went to LA, got there, and then he was supposed to pick me up at the airport, but they didn't make it, so I had to catch a cab all the way there. Got there, and I was there, and then when I left, I caught the Amtrak train back, and that was a 2-day train ride from LA to back home.
And so that experience sort of, you say, turned you off track.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I just like after doing the drugs there and just seeing how crazy and fast I was, I realized I don't want to be a part of it. But you know what I'm saying? Like the other drugs, that went away. The love for marijuana, it stuck around for a while. High like in senior year, I was at a point where I was like smoking a lot of blunts every day, and then it just came to a point to where I realized this is making me lazy and not really want to work. It's not helping me, so I had to stop and I cut it out. And I haven't done any type of drugs like in like almost a year. It's been over a year. It's like April 2016 was the last time I hit a blunt.
What, do you drink alcohol?
I don't drink. I might drink like liquor on occasion, low, because I'm not 21. But you know, I might sip every now and then, but that's it. I get like a lot of my inspiration from like the music and stuff.
So when you say that that your new album is good and that you're talented, what do you think your talents are? Like what do you think that you're good at?
My ability, like the way I write my lyrics, like it's crazy. I feel like it's like one of a kind. Just the way I express myself with the lyrical ability and the flows that I use and how much dedication is into like doing that, like practicing 1,000 times and just making sure it's perfect and like it's crazy.
What do you have like an example of that? Is there something you've written recently that you
Okay, I got a verse I could spit. Now, we could take it back 2 years in the past. I would hit the blunt, take it all to the face. Used to kick it with the homies. Now they all say I changed. Had to catch a flight. Y'all fucking right. You in the same place. I'm on a different level. 2 years passed, but it feels like several. Y'all long gone. Them times weren't special. I ain't fucking with it. I'm on a mission. Should have been grateful. At least you got the witness. Instead, y'all hateful. Hating ass bitches. Living on my dream. On the other side, but it ain't what it seemed. And I can't even lie, but it beats being broke. Cold down baseline. Y'all been cricket while I stayed on a straight line. I don't understand. Y'all stupid or you couldn't comprehend all the shit that I was proving like damn. I don't even feel bad at all. All y'all lazy but you want it all. Y'all got it backwards, ain't never gonna get it. But what I'm gonna get is plastered because I got the vision. And it's just like that. Don't hit me up, I don't fuck with you. You can stay trapped far as I'm concerned. Blame being lazy cause it's stuck with you. Like that was a verse I was spitting like to like a lot of old friends that went fake that used like that switched up, and I'm just like, but I wrote that about a week ago.
Okay, cool.